Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are testing out a product together. This is something that I teased back in December. So if you remember, I did a collective haul back in December and I talked about a hair piece that I bought in December, like from Amazon. And I'll talk more about that in a second, but I have been holding on to this thing. I had a box of hair dye, which you may have noticed in one of my previous videos that my hair looked a little darker, but I had been sitting on a box of hair dye because I had quite a bit of gray hair. I kind of like my gray hair, but I had always wanted to try hair extensions. And so when I saw this on Amazon for $10 at Christmas time, I went ahead and placed the order because I thought at the very least it could be a fun video idea. And so I bought a box of hair dye to go with it. This was the shade dark brown, and I bought a dark brown box of hair dye. And so I figured today, I have not really tried it on like really yet. I put it on playing around, but I haven't really tried to learn how to actually style it. So I figured we would try this out together. So before we jump into the actual like applying it to my head, I figure I will read off. I'll try to link it if it's available in the description box, but I think it was by a brand named Sarla, and it is 14 inches long, dark brown halo hair extension with like a secret band or wire. Like it's not wire, it's just like a little elastic band. Hopefully you can see this, sorry. It's like clear. So this, when I looked online or on YouTube at different types of hair extensions, I knew that I wouldn't get glue in or tape in because I'm too worried about damage, and I kind of don't think I would be very good at maintaining them. I'm not the best with hair in general, so those kind of things really intimidated me. And then clip-ins I thought about, but then I don't really know how to clip them in, and I was worried about, I think you kind of have to tease the roots of your hair to be able to clip them in, and my hair is very fine and thin and very prone to damage, especially since I have a lot of gray hair. So I went ahead and decided to try this halo extension style because I'd seen a couple people talk about these, like they're easier to wear than you think, and they don't really do any damage. So it could be a complete fail, but I figured again for $10, it should be kind of fun to try on. So before we begin, I've already talked about the length and the dark brown color that I got. I'll mention what all came in it. It came in a very like non-conspicuous, very non-intimidating packaging, like this little bitty thing. And it has a little hairnet that it was situated in, which I've already taken it out of. So a little hairnet to help protect it. The wire was already attached, or the little band was already attached. So I didn't have to worry about that. And then it came with, it has a little baggie in it with, it looks like another wire band. It doesn't look that long, so maybe it's meant to like help tie something up. These things here, which I don't quite know, these little black things, maybe they're there to help tighten the band should you need that. And then there's a couple bobby pins in there, which I do think that, I don't, like again, it's so weird because I don't really have a ton of hair. I have very fine hair. I have enough hair, but I think I'm gonna have to pin back some of this back here underneath to be able to make it look, otherwise I think you'll be able to see my short hair like stop, and then you'll see the rest of the wig. So I think I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. Another thing to mention is that I think in order to make this work, sorry, I have a mirror right here to help me. I normally am someone who likes to part my hair, like just play with it and part it all kinds of crazy ways, but I think it's gonna look better if I part it down the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed through parting it down the middle. I'm gonna try to, I think the idea also is that you pick up here as much hair from like the top on your crown, and I'm gonna pin it up, and then I'm gonna kind of pin back some of this hair so that I can situate the extension on, and then we will work on styling it and make sure and see if we can get my hair to blend into it. I'm kind of worried about that because I feel like my hair is kind of short, like a little too short to maybe wear this wig or this little hair extension, because it is 14 inches and my hair is nowhere near that long, but we'll see. Okay, hopefully you can see me on camera. I'll see if I can show you the back of my head. I didn't probably do the best job pinning it up, but I tried to. Hopefully you can see. I tried to just pin some of this like thicker hair back here in the back up to my neck so that the hair extension can hang down over it. So let's go ahead and figure out how to put this on. Okay, so here's the first mistake that I've already made, is that I'm gonna wanna hide the band a little bit further back, so I'm gonna need to keep out a little bit for like bangs, I guess. So hold on one second while I portion some of that out. I think this looks more normal. Now let's see if we can get this on. Yes, that's much better. Okay, now we will try to pull out as much hair as we need and try to see if we can make it look like it blends. Also, I obviously want to state that I am no expert on this, so if you have any tips and tricks, please leave them for me in the comment section. But let's go ahead and see. I have a little hair heating tool. I have it on like a low heat, so hopefully it doesn't do any damage. I read that it could do, it could take a little heat. So I have it turned down as low as it can go. And then I'm gonna try to see about blending some of this stuff together. Okay, I'm kind of afraid to overdo it because I don't know how much to curl, if it's gonna mess it up, and it's harder to straighten out a curl than it is to keep curling. Plus, I think like on camera, it might look somewhat normal. I mean, obviously I never seen my hair or like this much hair on my head, so it feels very funny and kind of artificial to me, but at the same time it's really fun. I think it would be fun. Maybe it's only fun if you're on camera, because if you're really nervous like me to go out in public and have someone notice that you're wearing fake hair, I've never done it, so it feels so scary to go out in public like this. But on camera, I wonder if it's gonna look more natural. Let me see, I didn't really do much to the back of my hair. In the back, I kind of just decided to straighten it. So I'm really curious, plus I don't have a mirror to like look at the back of my hair to be able to fix it. So I'm kind of curious to see what it's gonna look like on camera. On camera, I think I'll learn more. I actually think that editing will tell me more about this product than even sitting here live, because like I said, I can't see the back of my head, so I'm not even sure how fake or natural it looks. Like, can you totally see that in the back? I don't even know where I pin my hair up and that kind of stuff. Can you see the band anywhere? So it's kind of fun. Just when you thought this video was over, I'm back looking different. I'm trying this for a different day. The second day I'm trying this this little hair extension wig thing out, and I wanted to give you some additional thoughts. One was after seeing the comments on the video where I was wearing this before the actual, like, this video goes up, I saw a lot of people seem to be very interested in this video, so I wanted to try to do something a little bit more thorough. And also I feel like I learned quite a bit in looking at the footage, like from the first take that I did filming with this little hair extension set. So I have a couple different thoughts for you to include as we start to end the video, but first and foremost, I do think that on camera, this looks a little bit better than it does in person. And part of me wants to be more harsh on this product now that I realize that so many people have complimented me. I feel like now I have to take things way more serious, especially that people might go out and spend hard-earned money on a product like this. Like, I don't want to make it just seem like it's the perfect thing. I want to give you like a good list of pros and cons. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. I think the major pro for me is that I am going to wear this on camera occasionally, and it's fun. It's a nice, really fun way to switch things up. I feel fancy. I like the way I feel in it. Now, it is awkward for me. I have never seen my hair this long or this like thick, so it is quite jarring in some ways to see myself on camera that way. But for that reason, you know, but I think for the reason of being able to switch it up and do something fun and creative, I like it. And I do think that like the $10 price point isn't the biggest waste of money either, especially for somebody like me I'm just gonna wear it on camera. But if I were someone who had bought this piece to specifically wear out into like the world quite often, I think I would feel a little bit like, oh man, I might not have made the best purchase. Because in person, I feel like I did a really good job color matching. And if I didn't mention earlier in the video, I used a Garnier Fructis hair dye, and it was the shade dark brown. Matter of fact, I went and grabbed it. This is the box right here. This is what I used, and I feel like color match wise, it's not, especially on camera, it looks pretty good. Now I will say, if you're someone who has very stubborn, persistent grays like me, I have a lot of gray hair, and I can already tell it's been almost 2 weeks since I dyed my hair, and I can already see some of the color fading out of my gray hairs, and they're looking a little bit more golden on their way to like turning gray again. So, but that's just my life when it comes to hair dye. That's honestly why in so many of my past videos, you've never seen me with hair dye in my hair, because typically it's too much work for me, because I know it's gonna wash out pretty quickly. And even if I get permanent like hair color, it's always traditionally just faded because my gray hairs are so like prominent. But back to the wig. I believe when I was looking at Amazon earlier that this shade range, I guess you would call it, these hair extensions, they had like over 40 of them, and they have also various lengths. They had, I think when I bought them, they only had 14, 16, and 18, but I want to say earlier I saw a 12-inch length or like something even shorter. So part of me goes, if they had had that length when I bought this, I probably would have gone with the shorter length, just because I know it would have been a little bit easier for me to pull off, because my hair is pretty bluntly cut right at my shoulders. So in person, I do think that that is something that would make me far less comfortable wearing this out in public, because I feel like on camera it looks good, it looks like it blends in. I actually was able to do a part not down the middle. I also don't part my hair down the middle very often, so that felt uncomfortable in the video. But today I did kind of like the side part a little bit, and that feels so much more myself, and it looks fine. So I think that that's a bonus, that you can kind of play with your part a little bit with a hair extension like this. I much prefer that, being able to wear my part slightly off center, because I don't have a perfectly symmetrical face, and it helps when you don't have a perfectly symmetrical face to be able to not highlight the fact that you don't have a perfectly symmetrical face. So like I said, pro, being able to switch it up, have fun. It's worth the $10 for me, because I'm gonna be on camera. I can hide it, that it doesn't look like it's natural. I can hide it a little easier being on camera. Con, it's not the most natural looking. My hair is definitely like very fine in texture. If you're someone who has slightly thicker hair than I do, you'll probably be able to pull off a hair extension like this much better than I can. But my hair is very fine, and this synthetic hair is it's a little bit thicker. So I think that even though there's a ton of hair, like the weft is very big, therefore it almost looks like it's more drastic. But if my hair were a little thicker, I don't think I would have that same issue out in public, like day to day, where people are up close and personal seeing my hair. Another critique of this hair I didn't experience until today, really. Last time in the video when you saw me kind of styling it, I was mostly styling my hair and trying to make sure my hair blended into the hair extension. Today, I tried it two ways. I came in, I had perfectly straightened my hair as much as I could without spending time damaging my hair. I tried to straighten my hair going, okay, maybe I'll put my hair straight, put this on, straighten this out, and hopefully it will all lay straight together, and maybe we can make it fold in together straight. And it did not really work like that. I feel like the hair extension weft looked very visible if I left my hair straight, and if I even tried to straighten this. So curling it was much better. Curling my hair helps blend it together. So if you're ever gonna try something like this, my bet is that you're going to have to curl it in order to get it to work for you. Another thing is that I also kind of thought that, I read up on it, and it says that you can use heat on this, but lower heat, you can't use super high heat. And so I tried today to curl a little bit of it, and it curled a little bit, but I actually think that this kind of hair extension, at least at this price point, maybe they make better quality ones for a little bit more that could handle a little bit better heat. This one curled just a little bit, but honestly, not enough. I wish it would have curled a little bit more. I didn't want to take the time and like section out the tiniest pieces. I probably should have I could probably get it to curl better if I was willing to work with like wefts of hair or little bits of hair like this, but instead I was working with something like along this line. So it didn't quite curl like I would have wanted to. But I also think that's part of the concept. Like, I don't think it's like would be fun or like worth it to be sitting down all day curling all this hair in the littlest tiniest pieces just to get an amount of curl that I want. Like, I'm gonna chalk that up as a con, because I think that maybe there might be hair extensions out there like this that can stand, like the fibers are maybe a little bit higher quality and therefore can stand a little bit more heat, and therefore you can like get more of curl. This was all that I had patience for today, and it's not bad, but I would have liked to been able to get it a little bit more curly. Also, it doesn't smell burnt. Like when you curl it, when you use heat on it, it doesn't smell burnt, but it does smell. Like you can tell that there's synthetic fibers. So no smoking or anything like that. I made sure that I went under the recommended amount of heat, but I can still, when I was curling it, I could still smell something. So if you're sensitive to that, that might be an issue. So I figured I should mention that as well. Also, I will give you another sneak peek of the back of my hair. I tried to curl the back of my hair this time and just see if it looks any more natural. I think when I looked at the footage last time when I was turning around, I didn't really do much to the back of my hair. And it was definitely apparent in the video that it didn't look like it blended well. Today, I just kind of curled my hair like I curled this piece of hair. And I think this one looks fine because it's kind of curling into the rest of these curls. But I still, like, I don't know what, I'm not a hair expert. So I feel like if I were wearing this out and about, like out where people would be able to see the back of my head, I'd probably ask my husband to help me make sure my back of my hair is curled so that it looks more like normal. I don't have that, I don't have a mirror system where I can see the back of my hair, so I'll show you what it's looking like, but I'm not quite sure if it's really translating the way I'd hope. So that is the back of my hair. We'll see together on film if curling it before I apply it like manages to make it blend a little bit better. I know last time I didn't do enough straightening or curling, and you could definitely see, and I have a feeling it's just gonna be harder to blend with my hair again because of those reasons that I mentioned, that it's bluntly cut, it's thinner in texture, and these wefts are just very like thick, and the fibers are thicker than my natural hair. And they're not so they're so smooth and shiny, which is nice and pretty on camera, but in real life, I think that also makes it harder to blend your hair in them, because especially if you're someone like me who has older hair, your hair's textured, and this hair is not textured. This hair is like perfectly smooth and beautiful, and it's just not always realistic that your hair is gonna look like that. But I believe that's everything. If I think of anything else in the future, I will maybe try to update you on like in another video, but I think that's all of my thoughts for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is definitely a new video for me. I don't really review, I never review hair things. I never really do much to my hair, but this was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate the amount of comments that I got in the last video where I was wearing this hair extension little set. So I really appreciate it. Make sure you say hello. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.